안녕하세요. 유에나 hello. Well, I didn't go rest. I was too keyed up, so here I am again. But in the meanwhile, I prepared a kind of slideshow with a couple of spots of video inside about the concert last night. By the way, how do you like the flowers from my garden? You see them periodically because I have a really lovely rose garden I built in the back, and I like to put them in my rec room here. Anyway, I did put something together, and I will present what the video I put together, and I'll do it as a reaction. So I'll have my little box in the corner so I can talk about it. It's mostly a slideshow. I'll describe, what's going on, and then a couple of video snippets, and that's pretty much what it is. So let me go through my experience as I was able to record it. We did our best, but I was a little distracted. It was wow. I mean, I already said earlier today what an incredible experience it was, how incredibly flattered I feel, how excited I still am, all the lovely gifts I received. I did point out that to one of the subscribers who saw me at my seat and approached me and asked for a selfie also gave me a lovely little I Stand You bracelet, which I'll wear. That was very sweet. Okay, let me do that. Let's do that. But first, if you like my video, oh God, I'm messing this up all the time. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you like my video, click the like button. My excuse this morning is I'm still kind of high, riding a little on adrenaline and total lack of sleep. But I just had to get this out of my system before I could rest. Okay, so here is what I was able to put together about my experience yesterday. Are we ready? Here we go. Obviously, this is me relaxing, waiting for my ride to arrive. Well, they came. My wife, my wife stirred me up and said, "Okay, let's have one little selfie before we walk out the door." So we took a picture of ourselves. I'm in my outfit, the famous outfit that IU discovered me in. And isn't my wife beautiful? Like, wow, I cannot believe such a beautiful woman would marry a man like me. Ah, some people are just lucky, and I'm one of them. Yeah. Okay, my friends arrived, and I have found some friends through my subscribers who don't live very far away, who were going to the concert as well, and they live in San Francisco. They're professors at University of San Francisco, and they offered to come and pick us up at our house in Marin County, north of the city, drive us to the concert, and then return us at home later. They even waited for us to be finished meeting with IU. Wonderful people. Yeah, what happened with Drake was they're doing some big infrastructure work. And there's Matthew on the left and Susan on the right. We've been talking to each other, but we haven't actually met personally until this moment. She has an apartment in France. She speaks French, so she gives the French bis just the same way my wife does. Okay, we're on the road. It's just a picture of me sitting in the car riding to the concert. Ah, that's the venue. That's the south entrance. The actual place that we had to go was on the other side. So we had to walk all the way around to the right to pretty much the exact opposite side of the building. But this was premier parking, so it was very close to the arena. While I was waiting for people from um, Edom Entertainment to come out and bring us in, people started recognizing me in the parking lot and coming up and asking to take selfies and chatting with me. It was really lovely. There were so many very, very nice, kind people who approached me. We chatted, we exchanged names. It was it was a lovely experience for me. Those are my friends. That's Matthew on the left and Susan on the right. And they were handing out these signs that you could use for being taken pictures of inside the concert. And we had a moment we were asked to use those, and we did. someone who stopped and asked to take a picture with me. It was, look how, it was just really wonderful. It was a beautiful sunny day, as you can see. He was bigger than me, but he also wanted a selfie. There were just, it was everybody. There were probably, I don't know, two, three, four. It was dozens and dozens of people who asked to take pictures with me. At the box office, waiting for the comp tickets to be given. Finally, inside the arena. Look how beautiful it was. We walked in. We were, of course, quite early, and our seats are in this section at the very first row. So we had fantastic seats for the concert. Me descending the stairs all the way down. While I was standing at my seat at the bottom, people kept coming up to me and asking for to take selfies. In this case, I was asking her how to get my light turned on properly, and she was helpful. She tried to be helpful. Truth was, I had already figured out how to do it and didn't realize it. Once the music started, my light began to work absolutely perfectly because I had bought the app to go with it. And here we are taking our selfie. Look at the crowd piling up behind. And from another angle, her boyfriend that was with her wanted to take a picture from a different angle. Uh, it was amazing. As you may be able to tell, I would say 95% of the audience was Asian. These were the cutest, sweetest girls who came up from below and just went, "Oh my God, you're Grandpa Uena." And the little girl on the right had tears in her eyes. She was so excited to see me. And I took two pictures by accident. I took this picture, and then I thought I was taking a video, but I blew it. And when I looked back later, I realized I hadn't switched it properly to video because I had hoped to put their video up on the channel because they were just the sweetest, dearest people. Oh, they're all filled in. My wife is obviously the camera person. Ah, this is the opening. My wife did catch the opening, a little tiny bit of video snippet. I guess the sound isn't very high. Very full. What a great moment it is when this concert begins, and she didn't catch that whole big splash in the whole thing that precedes when she comes up on the stage. And the thing I love about this number is when the kids come running out on the stage and they perform with her. I think that's the sweetest thing in the world. And this was, my wife thought this was just the most beautiful dress. She was disappointed this picture didn't come out better because it was beautiful. And she told the audience how she had saved this dress for Oakland. And the crowd went wild. I mean, this crowd was so enthusiastic. I mean, I've seen a lot of fan cams. As you know, I've watched many fan cams since she started this tour. I've never seen a louder crowd than this. In fact, they're almost as loud as they are in the Philippines. And that says something. Look how full. I mean, the crowd was ecstatic. They were just on their feet constantly. Although the center section, as is typical in an American audience, were on their feet. I was just where you can see that little railing there. I was probably just above their heads at the first floor where my seat was, right at the front row, so I had no problem with that. But people on the sides did not stand up. People on the floor stood up the entire time the concert was running. Uh, this is the ending as she's fading away, and the crowd calling for her to come back. And she comes back. What a surprise. She came back for an encore. She gave us a real wink when she left off. Well, she said, well, this is the last song, but I think you all know what's going to happen. And then she left the stage. And of course, less than a minute later, she was back. and she sang for us. And the way she asked for encores from the audience is really just a blast. You know, there were people who brought signs for the songs they wanted. I didn't think of it. But then again, I knew I would love whatever she did. But I kept shouting out Leon, but she couldn't hear me. But I would. I also was thinking of asking for The Visitor. I love that Kusaram. I also thought about asking for Knees. Knees is, I just love Knees. You know, there's so many IU songs I love, and she sang so many of them during the concert. Believe me, I was completely satisfied, completely. Ah, and of course, the pièce de résistance, the chance for me to meet IU. This was beyond anything you can imagine. Um, I think I already talked about what it was like to meet IU, and it wasn't. You know, you always think when somebody says, "Well, you can come back and greet someone," you figure, "Oh, you'll go backstage. They'll shake hands, pat you on the back, and you leave." But no, I mean, IU was so gracious. She greeted me with a hug, and I only dreamed I would someday be able to hug her. You know, it was just sweet, and I can't describe it. I know they filmed it. I don't know if I'll get the film. If I do, I'll use some of it. Maybe they'll use it as part of their IUTV. But the exchange with her was absolutely magnificent. It was so much more than anything I ever could have dreamed of. She was gracious. She asked about me. We talked. I talked about my trip to Korea. Then she said, "Oh, you know, I'm sorry I couldn't get there because I was on concert tour." And I thought, no, no, that's very kind, but I never expected her to want to see me. I know I'm just Grandpa Uena, but you know, she said that I'm really famous in Korea and she'd seen me in the news many times. It was so flattering. I am still overwhelmed with the time she spent with us. She was gracious with my wife. She provided gifts for both of us, very thoughtful gifts, you know, including autographed things like this. And of course, my bow tie. Um, I have her mom packed, you know, the gifts, which I'm sure you've seen already at this point. But I think my favorite is the magnet for my kitchen door because I use them. You know, I use pictures everywhere. I'll treasure everything, and I'll really treasure the personal note she wrote. Wow, amazing. Anyway, let's go on. There are a few pictures of IU. Another one of us together. She's so photogenic. You know, my wife is damn photogenic too. I hold my own here, but look at my wife. Ah, and that's it. Okay, slideshow is over. Okay, so that's what I was up to yesterday. I hope this didn't drag on too long. I know that I babble too much. I can't seem to help myself, and I'm floating. I'm not in this world. Uh, psh, I apologize that this is way too difficult for me to even consider trying to translate. So I hope my subscribers and my viewers in Korea can appreciate it anyway. If any of you are good at making transcriptions, I'd be happy to post a transcription in my description. I don't know if you know how to make a file for integrating immediately with subtitles. If you did, I would take those. But that's beyond my skills. Anyway, I had the most wonderful, memorable time I can ever imagine having. And IU is an absolutely magnificent person, and I couldn't have been more happy. Thank you, IU. Thank you so very much. And I really want to thank again the staff that helped to make sure this happened, and in particular, um, Saja Kyung, who took it upon herself to take care of me. With her limited English, we did just fine. Thank you so much, Sa Kyung. Um, okay, that's it for now, and I'll see you later. I think I'm going to go rest now, maybe unwind. Okay.